kill us every day, but them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Move it down. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jollof. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It's very close and they feel more. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
Anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ simile nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete mazụ nye ha sọgụtụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi mara n'ebighị ebi ise mma mma dịrị gị Chineke mma mma dịrị gị Chineke.
Are you still fighting the struggle to have independence for Biafra?
We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets. We are fighting in terms of our agitation. We are fighting in terms of our belief. We're fighting in terms of our consistency to ensure that we are free, because we're not free. As a free people, we can afford to make life better for our people. Right now, we can't do that because of how Nigeria is structured, and because of the very flawed foundations upon which Nigeria rests.
You called for a referendum latest this year, November, you said, I think.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, what's the way forward? Because the way it looks like the government will definitely not agree to that.
Then there'll be no elections in Biafra land. No more elections here. They can put whoever they like in office. They can do whatever they like with their political positions. We will not engage in any political process.
You said it's a peaceful struggle, but
yes.
There are some videos of you appearing in the past, especially abroad, in particular in one conference in the US, where you said you need weapons to defend yourself, you need guns and ammunition. How can we understand that in the context that you're saying it's a peaceful struggle?
I'm sure you've heard about the Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. Have you heard about it? Of course. Exactly. So how do you intend to defend yourself against Fulani headsmen without guns and bullets? They'll be killing our people, raping our women, destroying crops in the farms, and no one does anything about it. Is that how human beings are supposed to live?
So, and you have the right to arm yourself and defend yourself with arms in that context?
Self-defense is recognized even by all the known laws of the UN. Is that not correct? We have the right. If somebody were to barge into this very interview now wielding a machete or an AK-47, are you suggesting we should let them get away with it?
You were detained for almost 2 years, from 2015 on, and actually there was no trial. No trial ever happened, and despite several court rulings that said you were supposed to be released, you were not released. Yes. Do you think you were treated in a fair way by the government? Or rather also by the justice system? No, not fairly, because Nigeria is not a civilized country. People behave like animals. They are not reasonable enough. They're not disciplined enough. They are not mentally developed enough to run a transparent civil society. For them, they have a feudal mindset where you have the ruling class and, a multitude of poverty-stricken people who never utters any word in rebellion or to even ask questions about their plight. That is one thing we are determined to challenge. Don't you think you insult a lot of Nigerians with that? I'm being very kind, to be honest. I could have used far more harsher words to describe them. I'm being very kind. So generally, you don't think very positive of your countrymen then, obviously? They are not... When you say positive, no, as individuals, perhaps there are a few good people amongst them. But as a collective, this is an absolute mess. And you can see for yourself. Didn't you go through the roads and see how horrible they are? Didn't you see how unkept everywhere is? How filthy and dirty everywhere is? That is the product of a Nigerian system that is uniquely backwards, even by the very third world standards of Black Africa. That's the fact, and people must face up to it. Well, I traveled in the north quite extensively, and I went to very remote areas sometimes where you would still find Igbo people living there, peaceful together with communities in the north. Don't you sometimes think that you might endanger their peaceful coexistence with the communities there, that they might get into trouble with that? So if they're living so peacefully together, or cohabiting so peacefully as you put it, how come you hear about all those uprisings in the north where southern Christians are being slaughtered and nothing gets done about it? Are you telling me that that is normal? People are in the north out of a dire need, necessity more or less, to try and survive. Because here, the entire production process has been emasculated by people and policies that are geared towards ensuring that our people exist in perpetual state of poverty. And that is unacceptable to us. What we're asking the world to recognize is that we want to live in peace, not in pieces. We want to live in peace, just to allow us to be. Allow Biafra to exist. We were existing before the British came. Just allow us to go back to, what we were before. No African came to Europe to create countries. So for somebody to just come in here and say, you, from today your name is Nigeria is simply laughable.
Welcome, my fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you once again to this very evening section. We have come back again, as I promised you that I was going to come back after the morning section. Here am I. It's not been easy, but no matter what happens, with any little opportunity that I have, I will come in and spend, even if some minutes. So I'm here, as I promised. Wherever you are watching from, I urge you to like and share the program. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. Do not watch this program alone. It is very important because today is a very, very unique day. a day that every Biafran has to be serious. If you are joking before or you are sleeping, you need to wake up. Today is the game changer. Every game have changed automatically. And this evening, we are discussing on those game changing that we saw today. And we took the topic which says, live from Abuja High Court. Nnamdi Kanu defend himself. History in the making. That is what we are going to see now. We're going to talk about what transpired today. A lot really happened. For some of us who are not following up, some of us who did not pay attention, I bet you have missed a lot. But we are going to try as much as possible to bring some informations across there so that you can be able to be equipped when you'll be asked questions outside, because we know some people are asking so many questions and they are looking on Biafrans and they are thinking, what are we going to do? So wherever you are, you know, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in court today. And as always, it was a very huge one. As you know, any day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appears in court, something unique must happen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shows his face in the court. A lesson will be learned. And again, we learned a very important lesson. We learned a very important lesson. And I would like us to pay attention while we look into the things we saw today. A lot of things happened. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke from the court. And we are going to try as much as possible to get the message Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has, because he directed his message to the so-called media. You know, we have been calling out Nigerian media because of their evil reportage. Every one of us know that Nigerian media do not report information the way it's supposed to be. Nigerian media is compromised, very, very compromised. And they will never do the normal thing except you force them to do so. And I bet you today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was ready to drag them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was ready to take them to and let them do what they are supposed to do. Because the more you keep silent, the more they continue to feel like gods. But today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it to them. And the court section today was very, very amazing and powerful. And I bet you it can never be better than this. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he's taking over his own case by his own hands, some of us was very skeptical because we didn't know what was coming. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he was going to defend himself, so many of us were skeptical. We don't know what is happening. But I bet you, if you are a hardcore follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and you've been following this case, anytime Mazi Nnamdi Kanu take action or take decision, there is a reason. There is a reason. Anytime you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu make a drastic step, something is about to happen. Something is about to happen. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dropped the Karo White lawyer, you saw what transpired. After the Karo White lawyer was going up and down with Ozokome, after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have won his case in the appeal court, and instead of them fighting for the rights of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they resorted to begging, they resorted to prayer warrior, instead of pursuing the case that they have won. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took a bold step and put a stop to that. The same thing on this case now. Initially, when the senior advocate Agabi came into the case, a former attorney general in Nigeria, when he came into the case, everybody thought that there would be something different. Everybody thought there is something different. Even no matter how high he is, maybe he has a deal with the government to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. With all this while, we know that our lawyer Ejima called the special counsel of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have it, that there is no trial that's going to happen. Every time a lawyer Ejima speak, he will say there is no trial. Ola Ejima never accepted any trial. He said there will be no trial. He said there will be no trial. That has been the word Ejima said. Until the senior advocate came in And they one way or the other, they maneuver the way they could be able to convince him to allow the trial, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them the opportunity. After many talk, at the last part of it, just to get medical approval for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to take care of himself, they could not be able to get it. Something as simple as getting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get his treatment, they could not be able to do it. The Nigerian Medical Association, we are told to go and conduct a test on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and bring a test, bring the result. They did not conduct any tests. Instead, they brought a result that was being made, discussion that was being made before that time that very court order was given. And they brought it and submitted it to the judge. And nobody contested it. All the three sons who were there with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no one of them contested it. They did not contest it. The lawyer that spoke said it was an oversight. How can you have an oversight in a very serious case like this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? A case that can keep somebody behind bar for life, and you are saying you have forgotten something. There is nothing to forget. So from every indication, I personally begin to see them as if they are compromised, they have something else they are looking for. Just like what Wazirike said. And finally, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called them in a meeting and decided to take up his case. And he said that today he's going to stand in court and defend himself. Before we proceed, I want us to hear the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu here. We have what he told him.
That is not, don't know what law is, don't know what justice is. Why do they even of Nigeria? Don't know that God is a God of justice. You don't know that? That God in heaven is a God of justice. You don't know that? Are they here? That is not, don't know what law is, don't know what justice is. Why do they even of Nigeria? Don't know that God is a God of justice. You don't know that? That God in heaven is a God of justice. You don't know that? Are they here? That is not, don't know what law is. Don't know what justice is. Why do they even of Nigeria? Don't know that God is a God of justice. You don't know that? That God in heaven is a God of justice. You don't know that?
It is so sad. You had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu speak. You had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu questioning the news agency of Nigeria. The same thing that the other man from the United States who came to fact-finding mission, he also warned them and said, don't change my statement. He complained about the atrocity of Nigerian media. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been shouting about Nigerian media agency, Yoruba media, every time. They will never change. And he just gave them warning again.
Don't know what law is. Don't know what justice is. Why do they even of Nigeria?
He's looking for them. Where are the news agencies of Nigeria? Where are they?
That God in heaven is the God of justice. Don't know that.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just invoked the God of justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just invoked the God of justice. And I bet you nobody's going to go free. Not a single one of them is going to go free. They will never scale through in this case. They cannot succeed. This case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is something you have never seen before. And I bet you Chukwu Okike Abiyama have risen, and something is going to happen in this court. Whether they like it or not, something is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but I bet you the game is going to change. This atrocity of Nigerian media, this evil of Nigerian media can no longer be tolerated by anybody, not by any Biafran. We have been intimidated for a very long time. They have attacked us for a very long time. They have demonized us, used their media to blackmail us for a very long time. That blackmail can no longer work. Not anymore. Not anymore. And for those who were not with us in the morning, those of you who did not join us in the morning, we are going to try as much as possible to read out what transpired in the morning. But before then, I want to welcome every one of you once again, my fellow Biafrans, lovers of justice and freedom fighters around the world. Today, we were able to connect to Abuja to get information on the court case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the High Court, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the voice of Biafra, stand before Nigerian judicial system once again. Every one of us saw him. You can see the script I play from there. What transpired today is not just a court hearing. It is a moment of destiny. A test of truth versus tyranny. Freedom versus fear. Justice versus persecution. That was what we saw today in the court. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was supposed to start his defense. Today, he was supposed to start his defense by himself. And he did. And you're going to see how he defended himself. The defense Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put forward today is not just for himself, but for the millions of Biafrans who cry for self-determination. Millions of Biafrans whose cry for self-determination has been met with bullets, prison, and blood. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today stood for every one of us. The supreme leader stood for every one of us, for you, for me. And he took a very drastic decision for you, for me. Let the world know. Biafra bleeds, but Biafra will never bow. Biafra will never bow. When you look at our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not giving up. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will never bow to any attack. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will never bow to any oppression. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to bow to whatever the zoo is throwing at him. They are going to throw different kinds of things at him. There is nothing they cannot do. Just as you see, they have started already physical attack on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are now attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Koro. This one is not maybe. They are attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in broad daylight. And I bet you it can never be business as usual. Before we proceed, before I read out what transpired today in the court, before we proceed and continue, I want you to know that as we speak, Showore, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Lawyer Ejimako, and 12 others have been released from Kuje prison after meeting their bail condition. They have been released this evening. So that is the information we are getting. They have been released. They've been able to meet all their bail conditions. You know, Nigeria intentionally, they fraudulently, purposely took them away, hid them, and tried to smuggle them on that very Friday to make sure that the bail condition was not met on that Friday so that they can be able to detain them more. That was a manipulation. A manipulation orchestrated by the Zoological Republic. We know what they can do. We know what they are up to. But to thank Chukwu Okike that finally they are out today. After spending some days, since Friday, they were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That not just returned. This happened that this was on Monday. When was that process? The process was on Monday, and they were taken away. The process was on 20th. Today is what? 28th. They intentionally made sure that they spend good number of time over there. And whatever happens, we appreciate Chukwu Okike that finally they have been released. Appreciate Chukwu Okike that they have been released. We will continue to demand for our rights. We will continue to demand for the freedom of the children of Chukwu Okike. We will never give up. We will never run away. And we will never shy away from what we are supposed to do. So wherever you are as a Biafran, this battle has just started. We must not give up. When you look at the screen, you can see that is when they were coming out from Kuje. That is the report coming when they are coming from Kuje. Showore, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lawyer, a lawyer Jimako, and 12 others have been released from Kuje prison. And you can see them walking out, coming out, and getting home. And the struggle continues. This is a zoological republic, a country that is not supposed to be. In the first place, a lawless country. A very, very lawless country. You can imagine detaining people for how many days? For a week plus, for no just cause. For no just cause. Since last Monday, they came for that process. I think that process was on Monday. Yes, that process was on Monday. And that Monday, they were adopted, delayed. They said they were bringing them on Friday. And when they brought them to the court on Friday, they intentionally brought them on Friday because they knew that they can be able to maneuver towards the evening so that if they cannot be able to meet up to their bail condition in that evening, so that they will spend the rest weekend in the detention as a punishment for protesting. But we thank Chukwu Okike that finally they are out. Finally they are out. And the struggle will continue. You think they will give up? Sure, they will never give up. This is not the first time, not the second time, and will not be the last. But what we are asking, what is the international community doing? What are they doing? Seeing all this injustice that is going on in Nigeria, what are they doing? You see the way Showore was attacked in the court. Before everybody. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't hidden. That is it. Breaking. Showore, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, 12 others, protesters, released from Kuje prison. That's the video you watched when they were coming out. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, the battle have just begun. The battle has just begun. And we cannot run away from our shadows. It does not matter what they do. It does not matter how they do it. We will continue to demand for our freedom. Nigeria is not a place that any human being should be. In fact, Nigeria is not supposed to exist the next minute. Nigeria is a country that is not supposed to be. A country that is not supposed to exist the next second is not supposed to be. But however, we must continue to fight our battle, and we must never ever give up. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter how difficult it is, we must continue to fight this battle until we win. So I want us to go through the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today again, what transpired in the court. Because some people were not aware when I read out this thing in the morning. So I'm going to read out the outcome of the Kanu today. I'm going to try to read it out so that we can follow up. Those who were not here in the morning can be able to follow up to know what. It is important that everybody will. But when you are giving information, you will know what you are saying. You can see what is written there. IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu declines to enter defense, insists no against him. IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu declines to enter, insists no case against him. That is what happened to the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decline, and we'll go so that you can understand properly what really transpired. It is important that this information spelled out. So when you are narrating to people, you are going to be what really transpired in the court. And I will read. Kanu had earlier filed a formal application to summon witnesses in his defense, told the court that the decision says, in his words, no competent charge exists against him. Mazi Nnamdi said it is no longer necessary to file him for any defense or to defend anything, because he has gone through his files and he found out that no competent charge exists against him. So Mazi Nnamdi cannot submit notice. The detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has with his earlier decision to call witnesses in his ongoing trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja, insisted legitimate charges against him. The development occurred on Monday during the court session, where Kanu, who is standing trial on terrorism-related allegation, told Justice James Omotosho that after careful review of the persecution case file, he concluded that the Nigerian government had failed to establish any valid charge to warrant a defense. That was the statement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu, who had earlier filed a formal application to summon witnesses in his defense, told the court that the decision was no longer necessary, since, in his words, no competent charge exists against him. The Biafran leader argued that he had been subjected to an unjust process and that the evidence tendered by prosecution did not in any way prove the allegation brought against him by the Nigerian government. In response, Justice Omotosho advised Kanu to put his new position into writing and formally serve it on the prosecution team. Serve it on the prosecution team. Noting that it was noting that it was crucial for the court's record. They told Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to put it in writing and submit, that it was crucial for the record of the court. The judge further suggests that Kanu seeks legal advice from criminal law experts to fully understand the implication of his decision to forego a defense. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu know what he's doing. You don't try to play a good man that we know you are an evil man. Who is Omotosho to advise Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What good advice can you ever get from Nigerian lawyer or Nigerian judge like Omotosho? You can never get any good advice from them. The decision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is final. The court subsequently adjourned the matter to November 4th, 5th, and 6th to allow both the defense and the prosecution to file their final written addresses before judgment. Recall that Kanu earlier named former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Abubakar Malami, and several prominent Nigerians as witness on his ongoing terrorism trial. Don't ever forget that. Those who listed included the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyeso Wike, former Minister of Defense, General Theophilus Danjuma, retired, former Chief of Army Staff, General Chukwu Buratai, retired, Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma. Others named are Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, immediate past Governor of Abia State, Okezi Bazo, former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, former Director General of the Department of State Security, DSS, Yusuf Bishi. These were the people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanted to summon, but later decided to change his mind because in his case, in his submission, the government has nothing before him to defend. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. The government has not presented anything before him to defend. So for him to begin to enter a defense is a waste of time and energy. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have chosen a different path. And wherever you are today as a Biafran, we must have to stand with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and continue to pray for him. Because I know he is definitely going to win this battle. They can continue their propaganda. They can continue their blackmail. They can continue all their lies. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out victorious. I have no doubt about that. Nigeria is a terrorist country and continue to terrorize its own citizens, continue to terrorize people who are in that country. But that terrorism ends with our supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It ends with our supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why everyone has to wake up. Don't pretend and say it doesn't concern you. It concerns every one of us. It concerns every single one of us. And the earlier we prepare ourselves, the better. A lot is going on in the media. One of the things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is exposing is the evil of Nigerian media. The evil of Nigerian media. They can cook stories, they can form stories, they can do anything they want to do at any given time. And I bet you we must not allow their stories to begin to fly. We must not allow the stories of the zoo to fly. this evil entity, we must make sure it will not survive or succeed. I want us to pay attention to this very discussion in Arise TV on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. Let us listen to what they are saying in their own media on this case of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
The chairman of Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited, government Ekpemu Polo, popularly known as Tom Polo, has denied the publication issuing a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to release the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently facing trial for treason. In a statement released by the media consultant to the surveillance company, chairman, Dr. Paul Bebenimi Bo Tompolo described the trending publication as false and misleading reports authored by those who are envious of his contribution to the recent rise of Nigeria's daily oil production. The statement further reads that Tompolo has rejected the publication, describing it as a tissue of lies. Urges Nigerians to disregard the misleading information intended to twist the federal government against the surveillance company whose collaboration with security agencies has come to pipeline vandalism, crude oil theft, and sundry maritime crimes. Polo assures the federal government, led by President Bola Tinubu, of his continued support for the renewed hope agenda, adding that he's already endorsed the president for his second term.
When I saw this news of Tompolo, I knew it was fake. I knew it was one of those AI whatever. But all this, I don't know, it is still their own people that are cooking it. They frame up this information, they bring it up to cause confusion and create chaos. And they end up trying to show the world that either maybe we are pushing fake news. Or I did not share it. I never talked about it because I knew it was fake. When I see false information, I know it once. We are in a world of AI. I don't just believe anything. I don't just play any video I see. So you see them, they are very quick to present this to show people that it was a lie. But when the government is lying against the people, they will never talk about it. When the government is lying, just like the lie they are lying against the protesters, against Shore, against the law of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will never talk about it. But when there is something that has to do with the government, they will be the first people to announce it. When I saw the news of Tompolo, I know that Tompolo never said anything about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I knew that it was just a made up. But see how fast they were to respond. See how fast they use their media to respond. Nigeria evil media. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows them very well. And he called them out again today. Let us listen and hear what they're saying.
Okay, let's have this conversation with the director of Abuja School of Social and Political Thought and Arise analyst, Associate Professor Sam Amadi. Very warm welcome to Newsnight. Sam, I think we should begin with the Nnamdi Kanu story. Under what circumstance, as a lawyer, should a person accused of such heinous crime, terrorism, and others like that, decide to defend himself without a lawyer? And what is the justification for such?
Well, it's very unusual. It's unusual actually to have anybody stand trial from such very serious charges, whether proven or not, court. Those are serious charges to have, myself. But again, the Constitution guarantees everybody the right to. You have a right to counsel. You also have a right to defend yourself.
There's often had the counsel.
You always has. But you also have the right to defend yourself. And so that's a fundamental right. The court can't enforce you. Of course, the state has provisions to make for legal aid if either because of poverty or because of other causes, because you can't access it. I remember when I was the first counsel to cancel, when we pulled out from the case based on strategic reason, the state assigned him a lawyer. In fact, in many cases, the state will assign you a lawyer if you can. But in his own case, I think perhaps it's strategic. Two things I think. This is also a political trial, even though it's based on a criminal charge. But the context, the landscape of this is politics in terms of more important is agitation. This is like IPOB is a revolutionary band, but what I'm saying by nature of IPOB is a political opposition attempting to challenge the Nigerian state based on some ideas. And so their leaders also consider their trial as political. Just like Mandela had, and I remember the statement.
So Kanu is
maybe he fancies himself that his own personal
political prisoner.
No, what I'm saying, he is facing trial, but he is someone who has been declared, illegal by the state. So there's a political dimension. Now, he might want to use this opportunity of this trial to put a country on trial. And let me tell you, we wanted to defend Kesaro. I remember when he came to the office with Kenify, he said that we shouldn't defend him. We have to convince him to go for trial. The idea was that the state wants to kill him, but I need to put the good cause and put the state on trial strategically. So when we push the state to error, enough error, because it was clear the manifest intent was to hang Kesaro, we pushed them to an error, we withdrew. By that time, the whole world, Bembom from Law Society and from the Bar Council wrote a report that this is unfair trial. Not forget that was when Nigeria was banned from Commonwealth and the spirit event. So the point here is maybe it's today the fashions that he could say something, this opportunity to as a revolution, as an agitator, to push a narrative he wants to push out. And he says, I don't mind if I die. I'm going to put the country on trial. Dangerous gambit, if you ask, legally speaking, because Omolo is a very senior lawyer prosecuting. So you would have where senior lawyers defend it, but then the judge is going to base it on proving evidence.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that. How should the courts, handle such a request and treat the defense of the accused person without legal representation? Use the political dimension to underscore what Kanu might be intending.
Exactly.
And it may too, as some analysts, had positioned that he probably doesn't want to go to prison.
Okay, two things can happen. First, the court has to ensure that that's his choice, okay? Two, the court also have to ensure that the court cannot lower the standard of proof or the standard of innocence for you because you have no lawyer. So the judge will act like a judge. Hear the case, look for evidence, and don't forget, in the Nigerian case, you have to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt against. So cannot even enter a defense would still require the government to prove the case. The other point that the court has to ensure that it gets the facility it needs for self-defense. So this is where it becomes tricky. You have to ensure, if you want to call witnesses to do pre-trial briefing, you have to allow those witnesses to be written. If, for example, so the fact that it's detained in DSS complicates the matter because of the way DSS works here.
Yes, the lawyers have often complained about that,
Exactly.
lack of access, to their
So the judge has to ensure,
attention.
right now, the trial has to be fair and free. And the judge is the one who has to protect that freeness and fairness of trial. He has to do that with two ways. First, ensure that this accused person understands what he's going to do, that he's out to defend himself. Two, provide him all the facilities. He's talking about the case file. As when he wants to consult some books, as when he wants to consult some of his witnesses, want to put them on the things that lawyers will do in their chamber. They bring the witnesses, hear their story, go through them, decide which witness is good enough. Kanu will not do it for himself. And so the restrictions of that DSS has to no longer work. And maybe this is where the judge may say, you know what, I take authority and remind this person prison custody. Here, there's a structured way the prison allows for visits, provides for all those facilities. The DSS is not a prison facility. I think that's very clear. And that's why you see the lawyers complain they have no access. So the judge has a responsibility now to ensure that this accused person, who is now his own defense attorney, so to say, has to be treated as someone who is preparing for a trial. When the lawyers are there, the lawyers, they put on chains and clamped away. The lawyers will be getting the job done. They go to court. But now that he's going to be his own lawyer, he needs the body presence, mental presence, he needs the liberty and the facility to prepare. So the judge is now under the spotlight. Whether he will afford this guy, prosecution says 6 days. That doesn't really work. There's no way a no lawyer who has to go through this trial, get former lawyers, get the files, put up a defense in 6 months. That's going to happen. So we're going to see inevitably that the judge will bend backward, give him time, and also more importantly, allow the DSS has to be under obligation now to allow him to meet with his witnesses, interview those witnesses, because that's what it means to defend yourself. And the law doesn't care whether you're a lawyer, but you say, look, you must have fair trial, adequate facility to defend yourself, including resources, time, consultation. So this is a curveball of a sort. It complicates
you can't, it's not time bound.
Well, the judge, he has to be tenuous prosecution, but the judge has to do it fair. Okay, the judge will say, if after
the scale of justice,
yeah, just say, okay, fine.
Must be balanced.
Can this guy get this thing done? If you don't give him the file, send him to them. If you don't allow him to talk to his witness, how does he know who's going to put on the witness box for himself?
And already, some of the witnesses that he's going to call are high-profile Nigerians and the rest.
I think if I was advising strategically in terms of politics of this, I think it's going to be hot if you decide to. Those are some are compellable, some are voluntary witnesses. If the court has to issue an order, subpoenas to come to court and testify, of course, they will be, most of them are advanced, they're going to be advanced, but he probably wants to extract some confessions, some statements that his own thinking. I mean, this is dangerous, but politically, and that's the point here, many revolutionaries, you don't agree with them, so oftentimes consider their trial as the most important stage in their life to make a case. And they go with the case, we try to wonder whether you will be jailed, whether you will be killed, and we use the case of Passenger and Yaradua. So we say, okay, if Yaradua pardon, then he can't facet himself, so okay, I'm going to prison. But from there, they'll go to court, spread upon it. It doesn't factor that he could be executed. So the notion is, I'll be jailed, but I'll be stronger in prison. The cost will be stronger in prison. So I don't know whether this lucid and clear-minded now in prison. I don't know. If someone says, I want to defend myself because my guys cannot say what I want to say, they mean that they have crossed the threshold of fear, of conviction, and thinking more about the political outcome of that trial. That's really what it suggests.
All right, I mean, there are two sides to it. Absolutely. Thanks so very much, Dr. Sam Amadi, Associate Professor of Law and Director, Abuja School of Social and Political.
So we have just seen and had the debate that is going in their own court. You know, they will always bring their lawyers and they'll be talking all their gibberish. But I know that our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a baby. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he has to do when he has to do, and he knows why he has taken that move. He cannot be bullied by any idiot. There's nothing you can say to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu change his mind and say, oh, he's not saying again. That's arrant nonsense. There's no amount of blackmail you bring to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to make him change his mind and say he didn't say what he said before. No. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So instead, they should prepare for what is coming because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not looking back. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not slowing down. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to give it up for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you confess. It doesn't matter what you represent. For those of them who didn't know what is coming, at least this man has given them a brief of what is coming. But I tell you, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. I want us to listen to this very video before we close the program. Let us hear from this very point of view also in the street, what the street is talking. You know, people in the street are also...
I've been saying to people, whether anybody likes it or not, that nobody can stop Biafra. No human being can stop Biafra. No human being can stop the sun from shining, whether you like it or not. No, it's not. See, Biafra is a spirit. I'm a Yoruba man. I have the spirit of Oduduwa in me. If you kill me, cannot kill my spirit. Nobody. So Biafra is a spirit that no human being can conquer.
Definitely.
You can't conquer it. Every Igbo man, whether you like it or not, you're a Biafra. Forget politics. Remember how play politics? No. It's not about politics. It's about the fact. Every man that was born in the East, they have this Biafra spirit in them. I have the Yoruba spirit in me. I also have the Iowa spirit in them. You understand? Okay, let me give an example. After the Civil War, you bomb them, you destroy their properties. Then we saw children in videos with Kwashoko, big bellies. We saw these videos. Then what did God do for them? God made sure that today they are everywhere, they are where they are. Because of that, they have a spirit in them, which no human being can conquer. It's a fact. You know, people that they are so afraid, I'm not a Biafra. You are a Biafra man. If you are an Igbo man, you're a Biafra man.
Tell them.
Peter Obi is an Igbo man, he's a Biafra man.
Tell them.
For example, our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, Obama, I said, no, you are man. You can see. I am first an Igbo person, then a Yoruba person, then before I'm a Nigerian. So an Igbo man first is a Biafra, then before he's a Nigerian. That's who he is. You can't deceive yourself.
Yes.
You can be deceiving yourself every time, but the truth will catch up with you one day. I said to people, I said,
definitely.
Even if you kill all the Igbo people and remaining one little child, that child is Biafra. That's why it cannot be defeated. They are everywhere now. And they don't everywhere. Where do you go now? You won't see them. In shops, in marketplaces, all over the world, they're everywhere. So you can't defeat them. So only Kanu will only embolden them. Terrorist sponsors are not in detention in Nigeria. People, for example, even Sunday go to Obama that said he wanted to do it is free. Then why is Nnamdi Kanu in detention? Do you know what I'm saying? Now listen to me. When Nnamdi Kanu appeared in court, he didn't want the court proceedings. When they appeared in court and he was speaking boldly, so my best friend is an Igbo person. He called me and said, I said, I said, what did you see from the video? He said, no, he just saw Nnamdi Kanu speaking. I said, you don't understand spiritual matters. The spirit of the Igbo Ojukwu was speaking in Nnamdi Kanu that court proceeding.
Imagine a Yoruba man teaching an Igbo man.
You cannot guide me in this court. It is the spirit of a man that makes a man, not the body. The body can die, but the spirit cannot die.
Teach them.
Okay, after the Civil War, why is Biafra still on people's lips today? It's not supposed to die, because the spirit refused to die. That's what they don't know. The spirit refused, the body can die, the body is human flesh. So it's from generation to generation. No points now. So whether you like it or not, whether you try to deceive yourself or not, it cannot go, especially the way you are marginalizing them. You understand? Let me give you an example. In education, journalism, in law, Yoruba people, they are majorly there. That's why you see the NUG and everything that are in Lagos, in Yoruba land. In military, majorly people that are military, majorly are in other people. It's a fact. That's why you see military headquarters is in Kaduna State. In Nigeria, you talk about business, importers, they are majorly Igbo people. But where is the support in Igbo land?
Ask them.
That is the question. There's no support there. And it is deliberate. Or do you think it's not deliberate? It's deliberate now. So until you make sure that if there's justice, fairness, and equity in Nigeria, then all of us will going to move forward. But if we keep deceiving ourselves, one Nigeria, this one, Nigeria, you are just, you can't see. You cannot beat a child and ask them not to cry.
Tell them.
You know the truth. One Nigeria, don't see anything. It's just one Nigeria that looks like a Fulani country. One Nigeria that favors people and doesn't favor the other people. You understand? If government supports Lagos will be depopulated. Give them support in their place. They have their place for support. And the people will say, Igbo land is landlocked. That's a big lie. Igbo land is never landlocked. They have sea. can give them support so that they can start importing something from their own place. Not that everything will be not contained in Lagos. You know what I'm saying? So this is where God has blessed them in business. Because I told people, I said, after the Civil War, I said, assuming naturally in Nigeria, the poorest people in Nigeria are not the way people is a fact. Because you give some of them 20 pounds, properties have been destroyed, they have nowhere to go. But God bless them. As of their leaders, especially from I know Anambra State very well. Yeah. It's not like today in West Africa, the amount of billionaires that come from Anambra State cannot compare to anywhere. It's a fact. Go and Google it. In West Africa, Anambra have the highest number of billionaires. They are good in business. What do? You serve your guy many years, then like 6 years, he gives you the shop, then you go again. That one and that gives shop today too. Another person come and serve him. That's how they were able to remove themselves small by small out of poverty. Assuming they gave like this outside people that they were giving people food and be begging. Today they be the poorest because they fought the civil war. Sometimes all these beggars that you see here and also literally people is a fact, but they are not because their leaders are able to think and take them out of poverty the way they can. But the government seems to be against them. I mean the federal government. Give them if you give a Hausa man the same opportunity, you go man same opportunity. If they go the same opportunity, Nigeria will be better than this. But it's not, okay, this is your tripod, and I'll be saying this, Nigeria is like a tripod, these three things. If you remove one out of it, two cannot make it stand. You deliberately remove the people from them. You now give only Hausa and Yoruba. It's not, no, it's not, I mean, it's not good. No, it's not balanced. It's not really complex, it's not balanced. There was a day one man, he was very happy, Yoruba man. He said, Nico, the president, Nico will never come president. After Yoruba, Hausa, after Hausa, Yoruba. I said, I want to ask you a question. This useless Yoruba Hausa and power, what have you benefited from it? Yeah, he said, no, I said, total of five. You know that I cannot benefit, but you can't even say the truth, I cannot benefit anything from them. You are a Christian, you have the mind of God to tell people that no, this is not right. We cannot say we are one country and we're against a particular people. No, but to become president is wahala. Let me give you an example. In Nigeria, go and check every unitary school. If a Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo man want to write an exam, it's a fact. Unitary school, Yoruba man will get, you must have like 200 marks to be admitted. Igbo man like 200 marks to be admitted. Hausa man like 50 marks. I'm telling you, it's a fact. Unitary school in Nigeria, all of them. Now, if after somebody is 200 marks, another is 200 marks, another is 50 marks, they now go to school. If there's now a job in federal civil service, in NMPC, in CBN, and all those things, the first person to be employed will be that person that have 50 marks. I say the country should go forward. Stop deceiving yourself. No, let us pray for Nigeria. You cannot pray for a goat and the goat will now become a cow.
Tell them.
Pray for Nigeria. You have been praying for Nigeria so many years. And it's not working because there is no justice, equity, and fairness. Until there is justice, equity, and fairness, then the country can thrive and move forward. And people will see that, oh, Nigeria is working. But for now, there's no justice, equity, and fairness. People are just deceiving themselves. You understand? There's no justice, there's no equity, there's no fairness. People are just deceiving themselves. I don't deceive myself. I'm a kind of person, I tell myself the truth. My father used to tell me, if somebody is deceiving you, it's better. But you don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Nigeria cannot work like this. Yeah, you are sidelining a major tribe. And you make sure that they don't get to power. And I'm putting incompetent people in power. In 2015, and I told him, and this election, if you make mistake, Nigeria will never recover. I said, I don't fear anybody. No, it's Buhari. The reason why they were against Jonathan was because Jonathan said his name is Goodluck Ebele, Azikiwe Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan is like, I see it's not like Igbo, it's a Nigerian that is. You know that is like Igbo man. Make a comment and said, my hand no danger. And they know me, my hand is not there. Even when they went to Ojota to protest against him, I did not go, they know, I said, go for me. I know they follow. Now, they remove him and put a man that ordinarily cannot be a local government chairman, that does not have the brain to even be a security, a Megan in a bank. You put him as the president. Look at where the guy is. Because of tribalism. I know that why you will not do anything, but Shiba, now your man is his vice. Don't diplomacy kind of commitment. Let's go. I was telling, let's go, please, let's go. This time around, and I'm not collect money from anybody. Just vote to buy. So no, it's in one night. In our own person, I said no, don't do like this. And no, nothing up. I was in the pub when I was campaigning. When that old man said, I would rather die. Other people would have to enjoy other people. I was in the bus. One man said this in this place. He said, I know that people cannot perform well, but when I go to him, I go to an ego man. The other man in my compound said, people cannot be trusted. I said, if there's any time that can be trusted in Nigeria, I swear to God, I'm taking from bottom of my hand. It's because, but you know why? They are everywhere doing business. Everywhere you go, I'm an artisan. I don't know work everywhere. I've been to where Mosi and Ego man doing exact chemist or something there. He said, no, that woman, that same one is complaining in the compound. Yes, now. Maybe I told them about the obedient movement. And I told them, if you want to join,
You never see it.
I'm not supposed to, I'm not anybody. So if you want to join, just make sure that you are working. If you don't have work, they give you a man 5,000, you put under Mumu again. So both this time around, don't collect money. Make sure that things are going well. I'm telling you, I know that I know what people are facing. No, man. Me and that one, I see all those ones I want. Poverty, insecurity, inflation does not know kind of religion. I told them. Even Buhari that will say is the worst president is not better than our human beings are not missing Buhari. I said, if we can miss Buhari in Nigeria, that means something is wrong. It's not like that. And I was coming from my house one day. 3 people came to meet me. Thank God, come. I said, come. Obi and Atiku won't play together. I said, what's the problem? I beg. We can just together. I said, good morning, no. This good morning. I want you here. I told you in this place. You kept calling me, you're a bastard. You hate you're a bastard. I'm a human person. But the truth is the truth. Let us see the truth and say it. Now look at it. Then and now, they don't want people to come back. And I do see. I should come back. No, the man have pain of it's a trade I do. Trade can multiply money. He have pain. Not just a politician. That you don't know anything politics. They put their children in politics. All their wife.
We are going to stop here. He started very well. And, we don't have anything to do with campaign. When he's talking about Peter Obi, we are not part of anything that is called election in Nigeria. And we will never be part of it. We have gone out of Nigeria. And it is either Biafra or nothing. But he made very great points when he was speaking. He made very important points why Nigeria cannot survive. That we are, first of all, either a Biafran, an Oduduwa person, or an Arewa person before you became a Nigerian. And the truth remains that there is nobody that is a Nigerian today. Nobody. Anybody that claims to be a Nigerian is just deceiving himself. Nobody is a Nigerian. Everybody you see are people struggling on their own to make their daily life. Nobody is a Nigerian. So when you hear them talk about Nigeria, run for your life. It has nothing to do with you. We have seen it by their actions, by their deeds, by their behavior, by all the elections. It has nothing to do with us. We have seen the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know that case is not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We say it long ago. People don't know. But now, that case is exposing Nigeria. It is about whether truth can survive under oppression. That is the challenge now. We want to know whether truth can survive under oppression. That's what it's all about. For years, the Nigerian government has violated international laws, disobey court orders, trample on human rights, all the silence one voice that spoke for millions. For many years, this is what is happening in Nigeria. Nigerian government. They violate every international law known to man, disobey all court orders, trample on human rights, just like nothing else. All to silence one voice that speaks for millions. Just to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down, just to persecute him, just to trample on him. But I bet you they have come to the end of the road. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands today as a prisoner of conscience, held for demanding what is rightfully ours, the freedom of Biafra. We have the right to be free. We have the absolute right to be free. He has not committed any crime. The only crime Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed is that he demanding for what belongs to us. Asking for our rights. That's the only crime I've committed. The world have been silent enough. They must not be silent anymore. Because this continuous silence of the international community means complicity. The international community, the United Nations, the European Union, America, and the African Union, they must stand on their side of justice now. This is the time for them to make a statement. The ball is on their court. 24, 25, on the 4th, on the 5th, on the 6th, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to come back to court. And we are going to see what's going to happen. We call on all human rights organizations, journalists, global citizens. We call every one of them. Witness this trial and speak out against tyranny. Pay attention to the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and speak against tyranny. Pay attention. Don't just sit back. Pay attention and speak against tyranny. The blood of silence strengthens the hand of oppression. The blood of silence strengthens the hand of oppression. And that is why we must continue to speak. Every Biafran at home and in diaspora must stand. Every Biafran at home and diaspora must understand that this defense is our collective fight. The fight that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going for today is our collective fight. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stand in the clock for all of us, every one of us. He is standing there for us. The punishment he's taking is for us. The persecution, the torture is for you and for me. For the men and women massacred in Aba, Onitsha, Mbo, and all over the land. For all the innocent people killed both in the northern part of Nigeria, in the southwest, and everywhere. This is the time to unite our voice, our energy, and our purpose. We must never give up. So my fellow Biafrans, please kindly share this live stream. Share it to every other person. Click like and share so that people who are watching us can get this information. It's important. This is time for us to continue to call to the attention of the world. We have got to the end of the road. The world must weigh in. International community must speak out. We must flood social media with free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu every blessed day. Flood social media with hashtag free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, hashtag free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Write it over and over again. Write it on the comment section there. Write it on your platform. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, hashtag free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let every nation hear that Biafra demands justice. Let every nation hear that Biafra demands justice. Nigeria cannot continue to preach democracy while practicing dictatorship. Preaching democracy while practicing dictatorship, and everybody's watching. The court must remain sacred, not a tool of intimidation, as it is in Nigeria. If the judiciary allow politics to decide justice, then Nigeria has lost its moral foundation, which we know it has. It has already lost its moral foundation. We say it boldly, let justice flow like a river. Our history will judge those who stood by while truth was crushed. We are watching, and we see them. Those of them that stand by. Everyone must, we must take action. We must move and take action. Every great freedom movement have a voice of truth. And for Biafra, that voice is in Nnamdi Kanu. Every great movement has a voice of truth. And for us, Biafra, that very voice of truth is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has endured abduction, torture, imprisonment, yet his courage has never wavered. You saw him in court today. How brave he is. He speaks boldly without fear. Fearless in the presence of the enemy. His defense today is not weakness. The decision he took today is not weakness. You can see him boldly speaking, calling everybody out. The decision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is not weakness. It is strength in the face of oppression. That is what you saw. Strength in the face of oppression. From Nelson Mandela to Martin Luther King Jr., every liberation faced a courtroom. And every courtroom became a stage where truth triumphed over tyranny. We must not give up. Never. Let every Biafran say loud. Say it loud in your own, wherever you are. If you are a genuine Biafran, say this word loud. We stand with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody in the comment section, write it. We stand with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Wherever you go, shout it in your office, in your homes, in your families. Say it over and over again. We stand with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The world must hear our cry for freedom, justice, and dignity. I urge every one of us to share this broadcast now. If you have not shared it, make sure you share it. Click like and make sure you share. Comment your location if you can. Let the world know Biafra is awake. Our unity is our power. Our voice is our weapon. Our truth is our defense. We are not backing down. Never, ever. We will never, ever back down. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, this struggle is not about today alone. It is also about generation yet unborn. I want you to pay attention. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are on this planet Earth, this very struggle you are seeing is not about today alone. It's also about generation yet unborn. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu courage. Remind us that freedom has a price. And those who dare to demand it will face persecution. Have that at the back of your mind. But truth cannot be chained forever. Truth cannot be chained forever. Let the world know Biafra is not a crime. Justice for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is justice for all. Please continue to share these messages to everyone that needs to hear us. Keep sharing, keep speaking, and keep standing. Until Biafra is free, we remain unshakable, unstoppable, and united. Long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Long live the spirit of Biafra. Long live freedom and justice across the world. I appreciate every one of you that have been with me on this program today. Thank you for being part of this program wherever you join and you connect. I appreciate you. Remain strong. Do not be discouraged. We know that our challenges, no matter what the challenges are, we shall overcome. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide and protect every one of you that participated in this program. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I will see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's program, where we'll be there and where we continue to preach the gospel. See you tomorrow morning. Remember, 7:30 a.m. Biafran time. I will be back here and we will continue to preach this gospel. Have a wonderful night and stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day, but them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Who be that? I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us to ring answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jollof. Something done the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.